You may be wondering why I've got two on the ends here. Those two is my A-frame pieces. I've got these two poles sticking up there, and they're the same lean-to rafter supports, 6-foot poles, etc. They are what I call roof extenders, and it's a trick up my sleeve to give myself a larger roof and more volume inside. That's why the reason this shelter is so kick-ass is because of these extenders. That gap you see there is the bigger roof I've got from putting these additional poles at the tripod over the A-frames. It may not look like much, but that's huge. The roof is now come out to that point because what's going to happen is when you put the 6-foot lean-tos on the ridge pole, if you go to the A-frame, it's going to angle in. See how it's smaller? But by putting these additional poles over the tripods, I've now made the roof straight, and it's come straight out to there, and from there I can build out, well not here because that's my door, but from there it can come straight to this tripod support, and that should be straight. It's a curved piece of bamboo, so really it should be like that. So you can see how much more room I've got here. The reason the A-frame's smaller is because of this overlap, and the tripod piece sits in there. Now maybe, okay, I've got too much overhang, but you do need some overhang to play with when you set it up, when you first set the thing up. You've got to put your 3 or 4 inch pole in there, and you need room for the ridge pole to sit in. That's my ridge pole. Now that connection could have come up to here. So yes, I've got too much overhang. If you have minimal overhang for the A-frame, maybe you don't need these roof extenders. So admittedly, I could have had smaller overhang, and then I don't need these roof extenders. So that is just an additional bonus trick up your sleeve. If you've got overhang, if your A-frame is going to be smaller, so that triangle, the A shape formed by the A-frame, is automatically going to be smaller than the A shape formed by 6-foot poles resting on the ridge pole. That's a fact. And you can work it, you can do your own experiments, you can draw diagrams and check it out. So that's just a bonus to bring the roof out straight to match up with the lean-to supports on the ridge pole. You may not need that, as I said, if you don't have much overhang. But in this case, just 2 more poles, bang. I've now regained all that space I lost by the overhang. See that? Overhang has made it smaller. These poles on the tripod, I've just regained that lost space, and that's more volume and more size inside the shelter. If you do that on all 4 corners, there's 4 more poles. Okay, 4 more. Now you can just put 2. Originally I had 1 on this side and 1 on the opposite corner, and I think opposite corners are okay to even out the roof. I put that 1 on there just for the camera, so you can see for the camera. I've now got 3. There's an odd number, that's okay. You can have just 1 potentially, but 2, you could have both on both sides, or 1 on one side, one end, perhaps. But originally I had 2 on opposite corners. Now I've got 3 there to bring the roof out to there. And you can have 4.